Hi everybody, welcome to GTCoding. In this tutorial series, we are designing this blog homepage using Next.js. Now in the previous video, we designed this categories section over here. Now in this video, we will design the next section, which is the quotes section. So let's get started. Now before going ahead with the quotes section, let's make a little optimization for the features section over here. So if you go back to our source code, and if you go to the features section, here we can see that we are using the img tag, and Next.js gives us a more optimized tag called image. So let's go ahead and change this into an image tag. So I'll just type image and let's import it from next image. Now if you save this and if I go back to our website, we can see that we have this error, and that's because we need to have a width and height property in our image tag. So here let's go ahead and add that. Now for the width and height, I'll just type fill so that it will fill up the full width and height of the parent division. So if you go back, and now we can see we have another error, which is we are using the images from pexels.com. So we need to tell Next.js that this is where we are getting the images from, and for that we need to edit our Next.js config file. So let's go over here to Next.js config.ts file. So here we need to type images colon and remote patterns over here. In that we need to add an array, and here we need to type protocol, and let's set it to HTTPS, and also host name, let's set it to images.pexels.com. And now if you save this, if you go back to our website and reload, and now we can see we don't have any errors. And if you scroll down, the images are not being displayed over here. So let's go back and let's see what's the problem. We are adding this height of 48 for the image tag itself. What we need to do is we need to create a container division with a fixed height or width. So let's go ahead and create a div over here, and let's add this image inside this div, and let's cut width and height values from here, and let's paste it over here inside a class name, and let's also type relative. And now if you go back, we can see that the images are being displayed, so everything is working all right. Now let's go ahead and start with our quotes section. So first of all, we need to have the data. So let's go to the data.ts file, and we need to create a new const, and we need to export it, export const quotes, and let's create an array of objects. And in this array of objects, we need to have the text, and here will be the quote, and then we need to add the author down here. So I'll just go ahead and quickly fill in all these details. Right, so I have added all the quotes and the authors over here. So now let's go to our components folder, and let's create a new component called quotes section.tsx, and let's go ahead and type export default function, and let's call it quotes section, and let's return a section, and let's go ahead and type quotes over here. Let's go to our main page.tsx file, and let's import quotes section over here. And here we can see we have the quotes displayed. Now let's go back and let's start with our quotes section. So let's add class name, and let's set it to padding top and bottom of 20, padding left and right of 4, and for bigger screens let's type padding left and right of 6. For larger screens let's type padding left and right of 8. And in this, let's go ahead and create a div, and let's add some class names over here. So let's type max width of 4xl and mx auto to bring it to the center. And in here, let's create a motion.dev. So let's import it over here. So let's type import asterisk as motion from motion/react client. And here let's go ahead and type motion.dev. And in this, let's create a div. And in the div, we will add the quote icon. So if you go back over here, we can see that we have this icon over here. So let's go ahead and type quote, and let's import it from Lucid React. And let's also add some classes over here for this icon. So let's type class name, and let's set it to height of 12, width of 12, and text primary, and let's set the opacity to 30, and mx auto to bring it to the center, and margin bottom of 6. So here we have the quote icon. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and display a random quote. So let's create a function over here to get a random quote. So here I'll just go ahead and type const random quote equals, and we'll create a function called get random quote, and let's go ahead and create the function. So here let's go ahead and type const get random quote, and I will just get a random quote from the quotes inside our data.ts file. So let's type return quotes, and let's import it from libdata, and here let's type math.floor math.random asterisk quotes.length. So this will get a random value from 0 to the length of the number of quotes. So in this way we'll get a random quote index from the array, and we get that random value over here, and we are just using that over here to get the quote of that specific index. So in that way we are getting a random quote, and then we are storing that over here as random quote constant. Now let's go ahead and go outside the quote, and let's create a block quote element. In that we can add the quotes. So here let's go ahead and type double quotes, and in here let's type random quote dot text, and now let's go ahead and create an element called site. So this is an HTML element, and let's go ahead and type hyphen, and let's type random quote dot author. So this will give us the author. Right now let's add some classes over here. So let's type class name, let's type text 2xl, md text 3xl, so for larger screens, and font serif, font medium, text foreground, leading relaxed. So this is basically the line height, and let's also add a margin bottom of 6. And now let's go ahead and add some styles to the site. So let's type class name, text lg, text foreground, font medium, and if you go back, this is how it looks. Let's also change the italic to non-italic. So let's type not italic, and let's go back, and this is how it looks. We also want to bring it to the center. So here for this motion.dev, let's go ahead and type class name, text center. So now everything looks all right. Now let's go ahead and add the animation. So here for the motion.dev, let's go ahead and type initial, and let's set the value to opacity 0, y of 20, and let's type while in view. Let's type opacity of 1, y of 0. Let's type transition. Let's set the value to duration 0.6. And let's also type viewport once true to display the animation just once. And now if you go ahead and reload this page, we can see that everything looks all right. And with that, we have a random quote displayed over here every time. So that's basically it for this video. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comments below. And if you like this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel to get the latest video updates. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day.